Today social media is everywhere. I mean, it's a lingo of Generation Y. It's how people interact. So it's nothing different for candidates as well. Today, if you go to sites like Glassdoor, people are talking about their experiences of companies they have visited, they have interviewed, and probably that's today. It's social. Today, before people even taking offers, they will ask. On Twitter or Facebook, hey, I have offer from X company Y, which one I would go. Also, there are a lot of applications, apps, or technologies which capture the candidate's experience in their journey of working with company or going to their career website, whether they're liking their experiences. So social is everywhere. I think it's about time where recruiters and talent organizations use social not just for posting jobs, posting videos and posting content, but also start listening to them. So I think listening is very much important. What people are talking about your company, your talent brand, and whether that is impacting your employer branding positively, negatively. And that's very much important. So sites like your Glassdoor, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. So you don't be there just for posting, but also listen and engage your talent. And that's how you will be able to convert their negative sentiments to positive, whatever comments that they are writing, and giving them a real-time response. I think that's more important. Also, in terms of candidate experience, you'll also need to look at while you give them an offer or they're already engaged into your recruitment process. Are you keeping them engaged into your talent brand? Today, every candidate has 2 or 3 offers before they join any company. So, are you keeping them engaged? Are you keeping them busy? Is very important. So, one is listening. What are they talking about you? And secondly, engaging them proactively using social media is very important. So, I think that's where companies can use social media. Well, one thing I would ask them is jump into the water. A lot of times, as a HR or recruiters, we take a lot of time in analyzing risks and mitigating risks and what will happen if someone tweet like this and Facebook put a comment like this. I think it's important you start your journey, you go into that mode, and then learn about it. Today, there are no formal courses. I mean, maybe for marketing, but for HR, because there are no formal courses. It's all about how you discover that experience, how you proactively engage your candidate. So think from this situation, every recruiter speak with tens and 15 and 20 candidates a day. Are they connecting them back to social every day? Today, hiring managers, before people go to the interview, they would like to know whom I am going to talk about, who's my hiring manager. And if they come to know, first thing that they will do is Google about him or her. So having right profiles on LinkedIn, having right presence on Twitter, very basic things like, are you putting right picture? Is your LinkedIn profile optimized enough for someone who's from a candidate's perspective? These are some of the very basic things, and it's important that everyone uses LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter for employer branding as well. It's not just for searching candidates, but it's also to replicate the effect of your talent brand and reach out to external people. Recruiters today are the first people who are talking to external candidates apart from marketing. So are you able to work as a brand ambassadors and amplify that effect for your company to these candidates? So I think that's what it is. But I think it's important that you start doing social and stop just reading or thinking about social. I think it's time to act. Well, there are loads of tools. Technology has evolved. I would stop calling social. We're still early in the game, and it's a new technology. I think it's an old technology. I mean, it's a now an established technology. I started doing social way back in 2007 and 8, right from Orkut and Meetup days. So there are new technologies. I think Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter are the obvious ones, but there are new technologies which are coming up as well. Um, so what we are calling the dream software. Now there are companies like Talent Bean, Entelo, Glassdoor, which basically aggregates the data from, or Dice Open Web, or even Talent Network for Career Builder. They basically aggregate all your social profiles into one place where it becomes easy for recruiters to search and profile a candidate. Um, uh, there are listening technologies as well, which is like social mention, brand mention, Glassdoor, which gives you a great edit of what people are talking about you. But what I would suggest recruiters is start small. Starts with something like using LinkedIn. It's a great tool for finding candidates. That's how you will learn to how to deal with social candidates. It's not similar that to a job portal. It's a very different experience. Once you learn that, then you can use other tools. Tools and technologies is a simplest thing to do, but how do you use and engage with those candidates? Use that data. We talked about analytics. Use that data is very much important. So I would say, having that right hat of using social media is very much important. To learn that, have smaller success stories, and then use it for others as well. I think mobile is one more channel which is coming up very fast, and something that we need to talk about. Well, I sincerely think there are two different things. Big data and analytics, these are two different things. While they are still meshed up together and they are related to each other, big data is all about having large data in large volume, different velocity, and different shape altogether. That's a data which is difficult to search, difficult to aggregate. It's not a data in Excel or your SQL format. It's a data kind of spread across different channels. So, like I was mentioning about your Talent Builder or Entilo, there are some of tools which are available where it proactively finds candidate footprints on all social media platforms, create a social CV, as you mentioned. So that's as close to get as to, in terms of using big data for recruitment. But I think very key importance is you have a large data in ATSs, or you have such a large data available in LinkedIn as well. How we are using that data. So there are tools available where you can actually analyze for my company how many candidates have come in from which companies and how many have gone out. What's the talent flow looks like? Which are the people which are likely to stay more in my company considering their past performance. So tools are, I think, available, but whether you have a right mindset and whether you are capturing the right data is important. I think it's still early days about big data. We've been talking, at least in recruitment or talent acquisition in India, I would at least say. Um, uh, so for normal recruiting organizations, I think it's still early days to understand what is big data. Big data is basically whatever that is out there on internet or on your ATS. Today, companies have large amount of data in their ATSs, but they are not able to search, utilize that data. It's a big data, while it's in a very relatively structured format. But people are still not able to find what to do with it, or they're not enough mature technology. At least in India, I would say. But it's going to be it's a future. It's where recruitment organizations need to start thinking about. Not every time you're going to go on Naukri and Monster or a job portal to find candidates. This is a network. This is a community which are already available with you. How do you engage? How do you find a right people? It's a needle in the haystack, right? I mean, so that's what organizations need to go about and start figuring out the best ways. Well, mobile is so we talked about social media, right? But today, half of the social media traffic is from mobile. Uh, uh, Someone talked about, you check your mobile 157 times. You obviously don't do that with your desktop or laptop. You just do it twice or thrice. But mobile is with you wherever you go. I mean, literally, people wake up in 2 o'clock and check what's happened with the mobile, your emails, social. So I think it's much closer to people, and because it's handy, it's mobile. I think the the amount of data which is generated on mobile, the amount of interaction that happens on mobile, that's a very important. So mobile recruiting is a next step. Once we establish social is getting access on mobile. So are you reaching out to your target audience on mobile? There are so LinkedIn have an app for mobile, or there are basically a lot of technologies that are there on mobile. Um, First, very simple thing, do you have a mobile optimized career site? Do you have, are you using, I know for some of the companies who have career apps on mobile. Those are some of the stuff that, basic level sanitization that recruiting organization will start doing at, and that's for preparing for next big leap. So I think that's going to be very much important. Okay. Firstly, I think recruiters needs to be savvy in terms of not just. I mean, they need to look at mobile as one of the channels to not just to do a one way job posting, but also to engage candidates. In fact, there are now discussions happening whether apps like WhatsApp or Snapchat can actually be used for employer branding. Even there are already, like, WeChat is already getting integrated with LinkedIn. If you have a LinkedIn profile, you can also have a WeChat ID. I know for the fact that companies like WeChat or Snapchat, they're looking at building company pages just like what you have on LinkedIn going ahead. So because the traffic is shifting from just social but to mobile, it's important for recruiters to understand and learn these new tools and technologies, be abrupt with what's happening out in the market. As I said, LinkedIn has a basic app on Android and apps phone. There are new tools that are coming up. Facebook's graph search is slowly getting integrated onto their mobile platform as well. So as a recruiter, you need to understand, learn, and start engaging with your candidates on mobile, because that's where they are. I think you need to understand where your audience is. Mobile is not a solution for everything. What is a demographic of your candidates or talent who is using mobile? Probably, let's say, freshers hiring, college hiring. It's a great Mobile is a great way. You can one look at where your people are. So if they are on Facebook, you can actually create targeted ads for mobile on Facebook, where your ad can only be shown to them. Same goes for Twitter, same goes for LinkedIn. LinkedIn's probably 40% of traffic comes from mobile. Twitter is around 80%, where Facebook is again around 70%. So one is identifying where your target audience is. Secondly, how I can use mobile to reach out. Is it apps? Is it optimized website? Is it social network? And then design a strategy. So that it's very important to understand what are the different mobile apps. Like, if they are on WhatsApp, you can look at WhatsApp. If they are on Facebook, if there are specific groups, you can look at that. And creating the entire pull factor about using those spaces to create interest about your company, why they should join your company, and then get them into your whole talent ecosystem, and utilizing that data for your open positions and get them interested to your organization. I think that's the way ahead. My personal favorite is Facebook, and it's LinkedIn. WhatsApp is good, but I think I'll still use it for more for my social and personal use than professional. I like Twitter. I think Twitter is the best app more than Facebook or LinkedIn, because that's the way I would be able to engage a lot of people. It's a two-way conversation, right? So I love Twitter. Thank you.